Hello, welcome to another daily episode of Keeping the Conversation Alive. Will Perry here. How you doing? Hope you're well. So, who holds the power? All right, who holds the power, and how to stop attracting, or how to avoid attracting people who take your power? Now, I think this is a fascinating one. But who holds your power? What is your power? What is what power? I don't have power. You have power. Yeah, they don't. They have power. I don't have power. So, what's that power? Um, and in relationships, it's an interesting thing. Power, your personal power, because in relationships, when we have low self-esteem, we give away our power. And one of the really, I've never heard anybody else talk about it, when people have low self-esteem, a couple and a relationship, when you both have low self-esteem, you've both been experienced maybe abusive people or dominant people, and you come together, you both have low self-esteem. You'd think that's a marriage made in heaven, whether you're married or not. It's just a really nice balanced relationship. It feels so familiar because you're both relatable to the same sort of experiences. You can both relate to the same sort of experiences. It's relatable. However, if you think of it in terms of power, we give away our power. If the other person is giving away their power, somebody's got to take responsibility. Somebody's got to be able to take that power and to make decisions and to do stuff and to can't be tripping over each other. So somebody actually has to go, oh no, I'll take that power. I'll be the one that does this. I'll do that. And then you think maybe in some instances that person does it and it's really balanced. Somebody does the cooking. Somebody does it's not that. It's not doing chores. It's about who you think you are, who you're being in that moment. And it's about being responsible for yourself, not for other people, for yourself. And it's not a match made in heaven. It's actually a really tricky thing because one person actually does dominate, and that's where they might not want to. They might want you to be balanced. They might want it to be balanced, but it never can be if you're both giving away your power. What you both need to do is the opposite. You both need to hold on to your power. It's like, ooh, that's equal, that's balance, but not giving away your power. Somebody has to take their power, and you can't take, it gets really complicated. So relationships, when you both have low self-esteem, sound like they're balanced, but they're really imbalanced and really volatile. And what you're doing in that is that you're caught in an invisible pattern. Not just those relationships, but when you're somebody that gives away your power, you're caught an invisible pattern because you can't see the pattern yourself. You're so familiar with it. You're so tied up with it. It's so much a part of you that you cannot see it. You cannot identify it. It's just maybe maybe you see a certain pattern in relationships. Maybe one's less bad, less severe than the other one. I can remember different relationships that I've had where one pattern was very different. One partner's pattern was very different from another, but actually the overarching pattern was very similar. And it's like, oh crap! And it's only with hindsight that you see this stuff. But there's an invisible pattern within yourself where you give away your power. You bow down to somebody else, and maybe you know this. Maybe you know this intrinsically. Maybe you know that you do this. Maybe you know that this is kind of giving away your power. Maybe it's intuitive to you, but yet if you have low self-esteem, you're doing it. And what happens is when you give away your power, you attract people who take your power, who go, yes, thank you very much, because that makes me feel better to dominate over you. It makes me feel better that you feel a little bit below me. It makes me feel better that you let me and allow me to make the decisions. It makes me feel better that, yes, you think I'm better than you. It's not nice. And maybe you feel better that somebody else has that responsibility, that somebody else is in command, that somebody else is in charge of you because you're so worthless, you're so crappy, you can't possibly do it yourself. Does this make sense? And can you see my point? So there's tons of this, but I just wanted to highlight this because it's giving away the power is such an easy phrase to band about, but actually, what does it mean for you? How does it, it's this invisible pattern. How does it guide your life? And of course, you give away your power freely. Oh yeah, I can't be trusted with my own power. Were you brought up like that? You can't be trusted. Oh, you're terrible. You're useless. You're not to be trusted. You're clumsy. What were you told that you were? when you were younger and growing up. So that's what you give away. Oh, you're useless with money. Oh, here's my money. I can't be trusted. Oh, I don't want it. Giving away your power freely, and then you attract people who take it willingly. So it's not about voiding. So the solution isn't about then spotting, because I thought it was for years. I thought it's like, right, who are these people? There's one. I spotted them, and I got really good at spotting people. You know, the red flags are often called spotting people who are like this. What am I on? 5 minutes. That's all right. Spotting these people, these abusive people, the narcissists, the people that like to take power. I could spot them a mile off, and it's like in their language, in their posts, in their pictures, even without them even putting any text. I could start to spot the signs really clearly. But then I went to a deeper level. It's actually, as long as you're giving away your power, you're going to attract those people. So guess what? You're swimming upstream. Yes, uphill struggle. You're mixing metaphors. You're swimming against the tide. You know, you can't win that way. What you have to do is actually change your polarity, if you want. So you're not attracting those people. In fact, you want to repel them, and you can do that by holding on to your power, learning to hold your power, standing in your power. How cool is that? And guess where you do that? You do that by learning to grow your self-esteem, to have healthy self-esteem. And that's a tricky thing because you can't see it, and it's invisible to you. Taking your power back is such a cool and empowering thing. So learning how to do that is such an essential part of developing and growing your life beyond where it is or where it has been to where it could be. So if your past is over there for you, you're going to create that. Unless you change and deviate path, you're going to have the same future as you had in the past. So that's your predictable future. I talked about that a little while ago, a few videos ago. So, to change that path, you have to change your mentality up here. You have to change that invisible pattern. You have to take your power back. And when I say back, you never taken your power because of what you were told when you were a child. So there's tons of layers to this, and what I've done is broken those down into a sequence that you need to go through, that people generally need to go through, and then with specific coaching on it. So that's the pathway. So my invitation to you: take the test. Here we go. I always take the test. So take the test. Ask me about relationships, not about my relationships. I'll happily tell you about my relationships, but it's not about my relationships. Give me credibility in terms of experience, but it's your experience that is pertinent to you. So your relationships, tell me about your relationships, tell me about the struggles, what you're experiencing, because let's just have that conversation, because in that the richness will be there, and I'll go bum, 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 and ask you some questions, and you'll go, ooh. So yeah, test me. I'm here. Ask me some questions. Get in contact, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is. Ask me some questions, and you can take the test. So if you have low self-esteem, score of 15 or lower, then this is absolutely for you. And maybe you can't see it because you've got this veil of normality, but guess what? This is going on for you. So you take the test. You can watch the webinar as well. That will give tons more detail, especially about the pathway, about what we've designed, this sequence, to help you through that, to grow your self-esteem, to take your power and actually become comfortable in your own skin, in your power, being response able. And that's such a cool thing. So I encourage that for you. I encourage you to take that step, find out, at least educate yourself towards this stuff, because it's not common, this stuff. It's not in the marketplace. It's not, you can't go off the shelf and say, what self-esteem program can I have? Because people talk about self-esteem, but they don't go to that level. Because I've been doing it many years, and it's like, I thought I had it, and then it's like, oh no, shit, I haven't. Excuse me, but no, it goes much deeper, and the psychologies, methodologies, the education for coaching, counsellors, psychotherapists, it doesn't go to that level. So if it's not being taught, it's not commonplace. There are people that go there. Of course, I'm not the only person in the world talking about this at all. But there's not many people where there's not many solutions that go to that level. Come and find out. Come and have a conversation. All right, many thanks. Hope you're well. Speak to you soon. Loves you, boy. Bye-bye.